So I think you can see a little bit what I was up against at first there, and that happens when you're a journalist sometimes. After all, you're intruding on someone's life, and although the older sister, Sadie, invited me, the younger sister really wasn't so sure she wanted to be interviewed and so on. But don't worry, because it all came out wonderfully in the end, and we became great friends. Bessie became very attached to me eventually. But they had some reservations. I had to kind of persuade them that I felt that what they had to say was really important, that their generation was largely missing, especially as black women. There's very little written, documented anywhere from their perspective about the world. So, well, they thought about that. They liked that because they thought, well, you know, that's true. So then they agreed to let me interview them in the paper, and they really liked the story. And it was just one article that I wrote for the Sunday New York Times. And it was, let's see, September 22nd, 1991 was when it was published. I didn't expect that all of these other things were going to happen. I was a reporter covering all kinds of different stories. That particular day I was on assignment. I had 5 other assignments, and one of them was very pressing. I remember it had something to do with I had to be at Yonkers City Hall to talk to the police commissioner about something. At any rate, I talked my editors into it because they really weren't that enthusiastic about it. And I'm glad I persevered. I don't know, I had good instincts, I guess. So, but this is part of being a writer and a journalist. I was taking a risk, not only of irritating my editor, but also I had no idea if I was really even going to get a story. And then I really would have had to explain to my editor. So off I went and I did this, and the story ran, and my editors really liked the story. And as you can see, there was this huge piece, and they were real good about letting me write on and on and on. Well then, about 2 weeks later, I got a call from a book publisher saying we saw your article in the Times, and we'd love it if you were to do a book on these 2 women, expand the article into a book. And well, this wasn't part of my plans at all, but I thought, well, opportunity knocks, and so I went and I talked to the sisters, and I said, what would you think about if we collaborated on a book together? And once again, Bessie said, well, I don't know, because I don't think that, they didn't think they were worthy of a book. So I had to give them a little speech about how I thought they were worthy, and they agreed. So we started on this book, and this is a very unusual thing, to have a book publisher just call you up as a journalist and ask you to do a book, especially based just on one article, is very, very rare. I've never heard of it exactly like this in any other case. And as a reporter, you always dream of someday doing a book, but it's always someday. And this sort of fell into my lap, and it wasn't really the right time for me in my career in some ways. And in fact, I didn't get much support from my colleagues about doing it. Everybody thought that it was a nice little project, but nobody thought it would do anything for my career. But I felt like I really had to do it because I just have fallen in love with these 2 old ladies. I'll show you some videotape of them, the real sisters, in a few minutes. And I just thought they were so special. And they were so old. And I thought, if I don't do this, their stories are going to die with them. And that would just be a shame. So I took off 2 years from the Times, incidentally not really having any income because I wasn't writing for the Times and I didn't have much of an advance from my book publisher. So this was really kind of a crazy thing that I took on. And we just had a wonderful time doing this book, and we were very excited and very proud. The first printing was 25,000 books hardcover, which seemed like a lot. It's a respectable number. It's really not that many, but it's respectable. And we were very proud, and we just thought we were doing this nice little project.